All right. Welcome to Positive Waves. My name is Matthew Collinson, and this is my great friend,
Joseph Soma.
Today, we were going to talk about being an empath, what it means, kind of some things you can do in order to not take too much onto your plate or pull too much into your body as you're playing with those energies. Does that sound about right to you, Joe?
Well, we'll do the best we can. But I'd say more or less learning these energies instead of playing with them. I mean, you don't really want to play with them until you know what's yours and what's not.
I see what you're saying. I feel like everything is play as an experience because technically if we learn to play with our lives, we have a lot more fun with it while we're learning. And as we learn at that depth, I guess, I feel like if you don't have a mindset to where it's like take it easy, relax, just
Right.
do this and you'll eventually get it kind of thing. But you have to be in a relaxed state to learn at your maximum.
Right.
When are you most relaxed? When you're having fun or doing something.
Generally in nature, by the water, something like that.
Love that.
Yeah, it's different for everyone though. But yeah, you do need to find yourself to be relaxed, to as you say, start playing with the energy. Where I was more or less going with it is coming out, from the depression talk last time, where if you're in that depressed state and you're taking on all of these different energies, you don't know what's yours. So you don't want to just start playing with it because you might be trying to work with something that's not even yours. And by that, I mean, as an empath, you take on others' emotions and learning how to, as you say, play with it, then you can leave what's not yours and fully focus on what is. So yeah, the wording can be tricky when playing with some of these things.
I think it's the same thing. It's like martial arts, man. You don't just start off swinging. I mean, you kind of do, you kind of don't, but it's like you learn how to be in a relaxed state as you're doing it,
Right.
eventually, if you've practiced enough.
I was going to say, if you just start off swinging, you may end up hurting yourself. And I was like, damn, that's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, you'll end up hurting yourself, and that's exactly what it is, though. But take it like one step at a time, regardless of where you're starting. You're starting in the perfect place because that is where you're at.
Right. And yeah, I mean, really, it's just starting, just recognizing and you got to find that place where you can relax, so you can sit, so you can go within, so you can ask yourself, what am I truly feeling right now? Or am I feeling, or are these feelings I'm feeling actually mine, or are they someone else's? And you know, it's fun how every time we make a topic, I seem to get kicked in the face with it because I'm literally helping somebody with computer stuff right now, and they are not tech savvy. They almost like get into a panic state when they have to do something new with computers that they've never done before. And it's like, okay, a lot of us can because we don't know technology as well as we'd like to. Some people are better, some people not so much. Well, like literally taking on these energies is it's not like I'm wanting to, but I'm absorbing, I'm feeling them, and like literally standing there getting sick to my stomach, getting totally frustrated, getting like almost to the point where I'm starting to get angry with the computer. And I'm like, all right, that's not me. I don't get angry with computers. I may get frustrated with them from time to time, sure, but all right, this definitely isn't mine. And I started paying more attention to my surroundings, and I was realizing, okay, I am taking on these frustrations of this other person that, they're not mine, but I'm fully feeling them because the person next to me is literally going through them. So it takes a while to figure it out. It takes a while to learn, or at least for me it did. But when you can realize what is yours and what is not, you can make your days a whole lot smoother, a whole lot better. And It's as simple as just recognizing and going into that heart space and tuning into yourself and asking yourself, where am I today? Where am I right now? Is there something pissing me off? Is there something bubbling up that didn't get resolved that needs to? And figuring out which is which is always going to be that fun part. But once you start getting the hang of it, you can do it in the spur of the moment, like one of those wonderful tools in that tool belt we're always discussing.
Yeah, well, I like how you separate it out because the thing about life, and we've talked about this a few times, is it's energy, right? And we're constantly flowing out and we're constantly getting stuff in. So it's like layers and they're all layered on top of each other. And like that's the hard part about sifting through all those different feelings that we're having, I feel, is like deciding what is yours, what isn't yours, how to let it go is another one. Just how to make it get smaller and smaller in your brain essentially until it's gone. And I think that's a nifty way to get into the flow of learning the different sides of the energy that you're dealing with at the time.
Right. And I like how you brought up how to manage it in the mind. And as we discussed in the depression chat last week, there's a few breath works that you can do. And if you start feeling emotions, you're not sure if they're yours or not, do those deep breaths, do those box breaths. Bring yourself back into that heart space when you're getting stuck in that egotistical mind where you're fighting with yourself. It's not a great place to be, but the breath can help you bring you out of it. You just got to remember. You got to remember those tools. You got them. They're there. You just got to remember to pull them out in that moment. And so that's what I did. I stood there and I just nice, slow, nice, easy in, longer exhale. And just as the exhale was coming out, I was just releasing, letting go, just saying to myself, I know these emotions are not mine. And I release them from my energetic body now and just coming back into myself. And it takes a moment. And I had to walk away from the situation a couple times, just get something to drink, use the bathroom, wash my hands, whatever, to give myself that little bit of space to recognize, okay, this is definitely not me.
Yeah, it's giving yourself small resets.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun to do. I find myself doing that. I love how as we've gotten older, it's become easier to be able to do that though. Only because we've practiced it a few times at this point.
Yeah, with age comes experiences. So just having that wisdom to learn from them instead of getting pissed off at them is a big key to life.
Yeah, I like that one. I, yeah, empathy is a funny thing, man. Like, because it took me a while to get in touch with the empathetic side of myself, and that's all right with me. It was meant to be that way, and I now enjoy being empathetic, but I can also sift without thinking about it so much anymore.
I was gonna say I wish I had an on-off switch so I could just shut that shit off when I need to, like going into a big arena for a concert or even just the grocery store on a freaking Christmas Eve where it's just packed and there's people everywhere and it's that stuff I call controlled chaos because everybody's doing their own thing. It's not really chaotic in an individual experience, but as a collective, it's like holy shit. And I take that in, I take it on, and I start getting all anxious, and I gotta come back to myself.
So you just stated you want an on and off switch. You do have an on and off switch in your brain, and you can learn how to tap into that eventually over
learning
time.
learning I'm getting better, and with the breath I am getting better, I should say, because once I realized I'm taking it in, I do my breath, and then boom, I'm centered again. I can do it within a matter of seconds, to where before it would take me a few minutes, sometimes most of the trip through the store at the early stages. So yeah, definitely be patient with yourself, be kind with yourself, and work at your own pace.
Yeah, that's where taking your time with it is a good thing. It's a one step at a time kind of situation, again, as everything seems to be. As we're growing our tree of life, as it were, we're just like continually putting out new branches. So you got to keep an eye on that and know what's coming your way.
I like that metaphor, growing those new branches. And a great one is to learn what is yours and what is not, so you can go about your days a lot more peaceful and knowing that those anxious feelings or those frustrations or that depression or anger or whatever may be bubbling up truly isn't yours, and you just shrug it off and keep going on with your day.
It's kind of how it goes, man. You got to get up and keep moving. That's the hard part. Like I have like arguments with my kids sometimes about that kind of stuff because of it being like, yes, you can get knocked down. Yes, you can feel bad. Yes, it can suck sometimes. It really can. But you still have to take another step. You still have to keep moving. Otherwise, you'll get static and then you're going to be miserable.
Right, I like that back in the day when it would feel like the end of the world situations, and I can't tell you how many of them I've gone through, but here I am. It wasn't the end of the world. I'm still moving. And the thing is like you said, you can sit in it, you could stay there, or you can keep moving forward and get the fuck out of it much quicker. So where do you want to, stay? Do you want to stay in that emotion and keep suffering daily, or do you want to take those steps and move out of it?
Yeah, I think bringing in into your world that I want to go back to gratitude again because once you start getting into that gratitude attitude, like everything starts to open up for you. It takes time though. Like you got to be patient with it. Like you have to do it on a continuous basis, which is why I always recommend people have some kind of tool that they make into a habit because once we make into those habits, that's where the magic begins to happen for our life shifts.
Yep. And it doesn't take too long to create a new habit. So you could do something as simple as, I mean, for starters, write off three things you're grateful for every morning. You can jump it up to five after a little bit, 10 on a regular. I know people that do 10 a day every day, and the life they live is absolutely amazing. It is truly filled with blessings, and to be able to manifest like they do is absolutely amazing. And I know that's a big reason why is that gratitude. It's part of why I started doing the thank yous after every experience in the moment, right after it happened, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. Just thank you and express it. And it has shifted. I've only been doing it for probably a little over a month now. I'm thinking about 5 weeks. And it's made amazing shifts. And I'm still in the practice of doing it after every single thing. There's moments where I come back to it and I'll give that gratitude later. Like I'll lay in bed at night before bed and express that gratitude because that's a great way to fall asleep in that vibration of gratitude. As you said, it does take a while to bank up, and it's almost like you're building that vibrational bank, that karmic balance to where you're coming out of that down and going into that high, that ascension.
Yeah, it's like those spirals we've seen in some of the groups we've been parts of. It's just like there's energies that'll pull you down, there's energies that'll go up, but it's up to us what energy we decide we want to focus on the most. And when we learn that, it becomes an awareness of, oh, darn, I am in more control than I thought I was.
Right, and that's a great feeling to become aware of, is the true amount of power we have over our lives, over ourselves, over our choices and decisions.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so, as an empath, then, as a person who feels and takes on everything, you have to begin to make the choice and get to that new awareness. I feel of, well, do I want to take this on or do I not want to take this on? It then becomes a choice. And the more often you pick the choice you want to pick, the more I feel it'll get easier and easier over time, as it were.
And it does. That tool belt definitely helps. And I was gonna say, I don't really think I personally get to pick and choose, but the tools that I have helped me to release much faster. And one of those is the Sedona method, where we're taught to recognize the emotion, accept it, feel it, and release it, let it go. And the sooner you do it, the sooner you're moving away. And you feel like hanging on to it for a couple days, months, whatever, that's your choice. You want to release it in the first 20 seconds, that's also your choice. You carry it as long as you choose to.
Mm-hmm. I
So
agree, man.
That was an amazing lesson to learn is the Sedona method, and just to be able to release as an empath, it's definitely helped walking into busy places and just almost envisioning like a waterfall just washing all of those things that aren't yours off of you.
That's nice. I love doing that. Darla has that great exercise with the fountain that she brings people through. I think that's a neat one.
That's beautiful.
I think if you're empathetic, you should go listen to Darla's meditation.
I was gonna
We'll
say,
put a link in there.
I believe Friday nights she generally does light language card reads, and she'll do the fountain healing as well. So we'll definitely drop info to that call.
Yeah, man, for sure. That's what I like to do, man. I love to how we're not in competition with anyone here, man. Like we're just waving and vibing with everyone because we can collaborate and we can grow together, whatever you're trying to grow. So much
Right.
fun. I
And
love
then
this stuff.
one thing to think about too is there's plenty of room at the top. Plenty of room at the top. So reach back and bring someone along with you. And that's what some have done for us, and that's what we're doing for others as we keep going and growing.
Yeah, man. I love the going and growing, doing all kinds of things, man. It's a blast. I mean,
Mhm.
I just love how we have such a group of people that can come together and create whatever it is that we set our minds to.
Right? Like this podcast here.
Seriously, it's a podcast. It's a course, a book, a coaching, a Reiki session, card pulling. I mean, you can turn anything that you absolutely love into that piece where you get to share those feelings, especially like empathetic people. I think when they begin to share those feelings that they're feeling, that's when they can open up their worlds to whatever choices they want to make with that.
For sure. And it goes back to that damn choice.
Choices are crazy. I see you shuffling.
Yeah.
Everybody be a shuffling, shuffling.
Seeing what's coming up. I just keep flipping over in stacks. And refocus on them again. I know the Rebel deck always likes to throw out a good card. All right, so the card that jumped out is Fuck Fear. It will lie to your face. Well, that is the truth.
That is true. I agree. I don't have much of that in my life anymore.
Moments here and there, but I think that's part of what I'm picking up from others when I move throughout my days. So, yeah, still feeling things that I may not always want to feel, but when I feel them, I send that love to that person and just, may you have a better day.
Yeah, man. Keep radiating that boundless love to all the families on earth now, man.
Keep sending out those positive waves so more of us can rise up out of that shit and have that better life.
So I think that shall be the end of this Positive Waves episode. It was a pleasure talking with you today, Joe. This was a good topic.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I think it was nice to discuss it. I know there's certainly a lot more that can be discussed on it. So definitely hop on that Google search and go jump down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, and feel free to comment or share anything that you've learned about being empathetic and how you observe that feeling, I guess, or those energies that come into your life. We'd love to hear from you. With that, hit the subscribe button and have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you.